been told that you're too much? Maybe you've been told in a job to tone down your personality. Have you ever been passed over for an interview, a job that you really wanted, or even a promotion because of the way that you dress, or even worse, because of the way that you appear? If so, this TEDx is for you. But conversely, if you've ever had to hire someone, or manage a team member, or work with anyone, this TEDx is also for you. I remember when I was a kid, and as a kid, I would wear the most wild outfits. I would wear a big pink tutu or a princess dress, cowgirl boots, a cowgirl hat. I remember on the weekends, it felt like the world was my playground. My imagination would run wild. I mean, a box could become a spaceship, or I could become the next president of the United States. There were no limits, and I remember as a kid, so many people said, dream big, shoot for the moon, at least you'll end up among the stars. I remember all these cheesy posters throughout school hung all across all the walls of our classrooms, and I remember at the time having a love-hate relationship with those posters. Part of me felt like they were incredibly cheesy, but part of me loved them because they reaffirmed this belief that I could be myself and also have success. But over time, I began to realize that nuance, that idea that you could be yourself and be successful, wasn't necessarily true. This was perfectly exemplified in a conversation I had with an educator at the age of 16 years old, when he said, if I were you, I would wear glasses, I would never wear makeup, and don't wear anything that lets people know how attractive you are. So I took that advice to heart, and I began to wear blazers. I put together a polished resume, and I dulled my sparkles so that I would fit in with others. Now here's the thing, this TEDx isn't just about me and my journey. No, this is about a serious issue within corporate, within people's 9-to-5s, and within people's lives here now today. I decided to look on Google and see exactly what advice is being given to people who are looking for jobs, looking for promotions, and open to new opportunities, wanting to grow in their career. Now this is where things get a little crazy because 65% of bosses actually said that clothes could be the deciding factor between two candidates with similar qualifications. 70% of employers claim that they don't want applicants to be fashionable or trendy. Something sits a little funny for me with that. And I'm going to share with you the 3 areas where I see a ton of room for growth as a nation, as a world, and especially as employers and employees. Now, I decided to Google once again on College Recruiter how I could be most likely to be the best candidate for a job. And there was a lot of very interesting advice, but most of it was offered underneath this one umbrella, and that was how to dress right for an interview, how to dress right to get a promotion, how to dress right in the workplace. And that sat funny for me because I thought, who decides what's right? I didn't know that there was a wrong way to dress in order to be successful. Now, I went to this article, and College Recruiter on the first page of Google says, avoid excessive everything. That includes, but is not limited to, and I quote, flashy jewelry, sparkly eyeshadow, bad ties, bold ties, colorful patterns, and fun socks. In fact, their overarching advice for anyone who wants to get a job, be promotable, and have success in their career is to wear a suit. I started to think about how many people I know that are wonderfully, wildly, remarkably talented in different ways. And I thought about these people who have winged eyeliner, natural hair, tattoos, piercings, curly hair. Oh my goodness, the nerve. Being a blonde. I have blonde friends who are wildly successful and so talented. And the truth is, creativity comes in many packages. I think one of the big problems with our society today is that we are laying the burden on job applicants and people who want to advance in their career. We're asking them to ask the question, how do I dress right for a corporate success story? But what we need to do is start laying the burden on employers. The question that should be asked is, how do we find amazing talent that may not fit the mold of conventional professionalism? Which brought me to my next point. You see, I love communicating. I love connecting with people. I love creating amazing, powerful strategies that grow a brand significantly, profitably, and using some of the really cool trends that are available on social media today. What I don't love is creating PowerPoints or having to type up reports or spreadsheet anything. But yet I see wonderful creatives and visionaries being asked to create PowerPoint presentations with not too much energy put into them. I see amazing creatives being lost in the process of having to fill out a spreadsheet. And I really started to think about this process in corporate and in our jobs. One question that I had is, what is most important? Is it that presentation of information is made to be aesthetically pleasing, or is it that it gets the job done? In fact, throughout my entire marketing career, one of the things that's been the most shocking, not only to our clients, but to our team and to the people that I teach, is that it is very rarely the most aesthetically pleasing marketing campaigns that get the best results, the greatest return, the most growth, ultimately the most profitable campaigns have the necessary elements, but aren't always presented in an aesthetically pleasing way. The question we need to ask ourselves is the necessary information here? And that is far more important than making sure that our PowerPoint presentations are aesthetically pleasing. If someone wants aesthetically pleasing, they can spend some time on Instagram. In fact, most architects and engineers actually write all of their notes in complete caps lock. And that's because they're focusing on exactly what is needed in order to get the job done. They're not focused on pretty. Pretty is the final product. It doesn't need to be so in the presentation of the data. Meghan Markle recently was interviewed by Oprah, and she shared a story that was very controversial. She shared a lot of stories that were very controversial, but one that I want to highlight here was a time when she was advised to be 50% less. Now here's the thing. When I sat down and watched that interview, my immediate thought was, I'm not shocked. I've heard similar sentiments from coworkers, bosses, prospective clients, and even team members. I've heard this over and over again, to be less, to not seem so excited, to not be so bubbly, to not make a fool of myself. People don't take silly girls seriously. But so many other people resonated with that message, because I'm not the first, neither was Meghan, who has been told to tone themselves down and to be less of themselves in order to be more acceptable to the corporate foundation. You may have been told to use less emojis, no exclamation points. There are entire TikTok accounts that are dedicated to explaining how boring emails have become in the workplace, right? We'll circle back to that later. My question is this. When you are hiring and building a culture for your workplace, are you looking for robots? Assembly line automated humans to perform a task a certain way according to what you believe is exactly how a certain person would do it? Or are you actually interested in diversity? Instead of trying to make someone fit the mold of the one personality that corporate has deemed acceptable or potentially successful, what if instead employers begin spending time studying the different personality types? DISC, COBE, Myers-Briggs, Enneagram. These are all amazing ways to learn about all of the different kinds of humans that there are and how they act under stress, because it's not the same as what corporate expects us all to be. Professionalism is killing creativity. Thank you for coming to my TEDx talk.